Hi, it's me, Jace. I am doing my first drawing. Unfortunately, I started it on the phone with my kids. So you won't be able to see the sketch part. I've already got the pencil sketch. I'm starting to ink it, but I'm going to turn the cameras on and let y'all see me ink the drawing. But when I talk to my kids on the phone, we play a game. I want my kids to be imaginative and creative, and so I start with a shape, and then they kind of give me prompts to continue on the drawing, which is why none of it was recorded. But what we've ended up with is Octopus Squarepants holding a pineapple under the sea. It's a little strange. I think it's mildly entertaining. My kids think it's great. It's fantastic. But so I'm going to turn the cameras on, and you'll get to watch me ink it, and I'll clean it up, and we'll show you the finished product when I'm done with it. So now we turn you to this drawing already in progress. Got to move my Osmo gimbal. I keep it charging on the drawing table there. Now what I'm doing here is just kind of cleaning up my sketch. I never use my hand to wipe away the shavings from erasing. I've got a small brush that I use. I keep it as part of my drawing kit. I keep it there all the time. But if you're new to drawing and you're trying to learn something from this channel, do not use your hand to wipe away the eraser shreddings. You get yourself a paintbrush and sweep them away so that your hand, the oil from your hand, doesn't smear the lead from your pencil. You end up with a smudged mess if you don't have a brush handy. And this is regular speed right now. I'm just starting to ink in some of the smaller pieces. It'll speed up here in a second. I included this because this is my GoPro shot. I have an overhead GoPro, and you see it's got the wide angle lens, so you can see both ends of the drawing table. You can see me, you see my phone over off to the side, which you won't see later on. I put it in here because I want to hear in the comments if you'd rather this or if you'd rather the close shot. I've got the wide angle and I've got the regular shot. I prefer the closer shot. I feel like you can see better, but in this angle you can see more because it's wide angle. It just distorts the actual picture. But let me know in the comments which you like better. Now this is the other question that I have for you. What I've done now is we're doing the time lapse, and I've sped it up 400 times regular speed, so it's 4 times regular speed. Is this too fast or is this too slow? I rotate the paper as I'm drawing. Is that distracting? Is that something that we should keep? Is it fine? Would you rather I didn't rotate the paper? Let me know in the comments. This is an eel that my son thought was a dragon. So why was the sand wet? Because the sea weed. The original shape here, if you look at the body, is kind of a kidney bean. I originally, on the paper, drew kind of a kidney bean shape. The rest of this came from my kids giving me cues and using my imagination to interpret that into the drawing. It's some kind of strange octopus person. He has a sponge mohawk. He has earrings with trumpet ears. He's wearing a Japanese flag t-shirt and underwear. He's got a tentacle for a tail. I really don't have any idea why he's holding a pineapple. It worked out to be fairly entertaining for me afterwards, but when I asked what he should have in his hand, I was told a pineapple. And here you have it. The other page, I'm sure you're asking yourself what's on the other page. It's not hard to figure out what it is, but just in case you were curious, while we're in the close-up angle here, let me show you. This is what's on the other page. It's just a bat cartoon that the kids told me to draw a bat, and this is what I drew. I have no explanation for the monocle or anything else. It's just entertaining for me, especially since bats can't see that well. I'm trying to jump to different camera angles. I don't want it to be boring, single shot, watching me draw. So I'm trying to use multiple cameras and cut it together in a way that everybody's going to enjoy. So it's important that you leave comments and let me know, am I changing the angle too much? Am I including too much video? Would you rather just see a single angle? You gotta let me know in the comments, because I'm going to read every one of them, and I'm going to do everything I can to try and improve this. Alright, pause. This is another member of our family who is interrupting my drawing. I am a dog person. I've always had dogs. I've never owned a cat. I do not particularly care for cats. I respect all animals, and I've always had rescue animals. But I do not like cats. Do not like cats. So, for some reason, last Father's Day, my soon-to-be ex-wife decided that the best Father's Day gift for me would be to take my children to the animal shelter and adopt me a cat. Now, this is Jackson, named after my grandfather. Jackson is not a cat. As I've said from the first day, he is a tiger. He is part dog. He likes having his belly rubbed, and he likes to lay with me. This is how he helps with work. And as you can see from the video, he interjects himself in pretty much everything I do. Despite me not being a cat person and having no interest in ever owning a cat, Jackson has become a big part of my life. He is my buddy, and when the kids are not here, Jackson is absolutely critical for me to have around. Jackson and I have lots of long conversations, but since he decided to participate in the video, I figured I'd pause it and explain who he is and what he's doing there, because he's going to show up here again in another second. Hey, what do you call a pile of cats? A mountain. This is me leaving to go check and see if Jackson has food, so maybe he'll let me finish the drawing without interrupting. But now we're gonna the mohawk. My son decided he should have a mohawk. I don't understand why a mohawk instead of seaweed hair or something like that, but he wanted a mohawk. And if it's an octopus and it's under the sea, it seems to me the mohawk should be made of sponge. So this is my attempt. I'm trying to put texture on this mohawk to make it look like it's a sponge. The eyes, my daughter asked me why I don't put pupils in the eyes. I do not put pupils in the eyes because anything that I do with this drawing is going to have, the drawing is going to have to be brought into the computer. That's just the world we live in. You can't do anything without getting this thing in the computer. So if I leave the eyes blank, then I can put whatever kind of eyes that I want in there once it's in the computer, and I'm going to have a lot better product in the end. If I was painting it and I intended to sell it as a finished piece, then those eyes obviously would get filled in there, and they'd, we'd have to spend a lot more time on them. But I don't, I wouldn't. To spend time on the eyes here is just unnecessary, because anything I do with this, it's going to have to go into the computer. If you look close, you'll see that when I'm inking, when I take the pen to finalize this drawing, I do not follow the pencil lines. I just don't follow them that close. You'll see there's pencil lines. So now what I'm doing is going back and erasing those pencil lines that were all over the place. That's also why I use the brush to get rid of the eraser shavings. I don't want to smear that graphite all over the page and then I have more to erase. I don't want to make a mess of the paper, so I very carefully handle this, because I know those pencil marks are not where the final drawing is going to end up. They're just guidelines. And if you watch through the whole drawing, then you'd see there's a lot of that texture that was not in the original pencil sketch. There's lines in there that were just not part of the original. The pencil sketch is a guide. It shows me where I want to put the pieces. The pen is what draws the picture, right? So I take the eraser and erase the guide when I'm finished. Now, all of the lines in the picture have the same weight, right? In order to build contrast, in order to build depth in the drawing, we have to add weight to some of the lines. So I use my Sharpie fine liners to draw the picture. I erase the guides, the pencil guides, and then I take a regular Sharpie and add contrast by building the weight of some of these lines up. And the bat drawing that I showed earlier from the previous page in my sketchbook, you see it's the same way. It's got the thicker weight Sharpie lines around the outside of the image. It just makes it stand up off the page. It just gives it depth and contrast that you can't get unless you build the extra line weight into the drawing. The heavy line weights in the finished drawings is also kind of a calling card of that lowbrow comic book commercial art kind of illustrated style that there's a lot of artists out there today that use this style. It's not unique to me, but it is what I love. I absolutely think this is I love this form of artwork. Most of my artwork is going to be nonsense, exactly like this. I don't have a lot of explanations. I don't want to stand in front of my artwork and explain what I was feeling and why I was feeling and try to explain every bit of minutia in the artwork. I want to make people laugh. I want to entertain people, and I want to make shit that looks cool. It's that simple for me. If you ask me for an explanation for anything in this drawing, I don't have it. I did it to make my kids laugh. I guess part of the absurdity for me is some of my artworks, if I sit down with acrylics and I paint something, painting has always been laborsome for me. I'm hoping to get better at it through this channel, but it's always been laborsome. It never came easy. The drawing is easy, the painting is not. And so for me, the irony is that I'm spending hours and hours and hours drawing, inking, painting, finishing these pictures, all to make a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old laugh. That's what makes me laugh. The amount of time that goes into these pictures just to make them laugh. And here we have it. It's just about finished, so what you see here is me signing my name. When I sign off of every video, you'll hear me say this. I always say, don't forget to sign your name. This is something that was taught to me very early on. My mother kind of drilled it into me. Make sure you sign your work. And it's become kind of a mantra, not only to make sure that you put your name on your work, but to make sure that you do work that you're proud to put your name on. Whether it's sweeping a floor, making a cheeseburger, buying and selling companies, whatever your job is, whatever your task is, whether it's drawing a picture or cleaning a toilet, do it in a way that you are proud to put your name on. And so you'll hear me say at the end of every video, don't forget to sign your name, or don't forget to put your name on your work, or something to that effect. But that's what it means to me, is make sure that the work you're doing is something you're proud of. So that's it. Kids think it's hilarious. I think it's pretty funny. For right now, it's going to stay just an ink drawing. It may, when I get my website up, it may turn into some merch or stickers or something of the sort. But for right now, it's just a drawing. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you like and share and subscribe. Subscribe over here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to do a new drawing every week. So between the kids' input and my imagination, we should have something mildly entertaining to watch. So make sure you're subscribing and make sure you check back once a week and see what the new stuff is. Look forward to it. Make sure you sign your name to your work. Thank you. Alright, that's it for this video. Make sure that you like, make sure that you share, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I understand my videos are not the best on YouTube right now, but if you enjoyed it, the best way you can tell me is to like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you watching, and hope you tune in for the next one. Thanks.